And now we are ready to start our next topic, metrics and data. Our next speaker today works as Chief Data Scientist at E.Life, overseeing the development of Buzz Monitor, a suite for social data analysis. He is also responsible for the international product expansion in Europe. For the opening, I'm glad to invite on the stage the CTO of E.Life and PhD in Artificial Intelligence. Please welcome Jairson Vitorino.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me. My presentation. A little bit about us. We started with social media data analysis 2006, so it's been almost 10 years now. We started analyzing mentions of brands and social media data, as maybe a couple of people are familiar to tools. And then slowly we moved to the consumer insights field, and that's what we're gonna talk about today. So first, I would like to tell a small story that happened to me 3 years ago. I live in Germany right now, and I drive, surprise, Volkswagen. And I was also doing something for the guys in Hanover, where Volkswagen headquarters is. And one thing that we found out when we analyzed data from Facebook was that was a big intersection between the brand Red Bull and the brand Volkswagen. So I thought, okay, that might be interesting. And then the other day, I had to take my car, which is not new, it's an old Volkswagen. I had to take it to the store. And there, I was offered a sample of, yes, Red Bull. So it was interesting. At that moment, I guess it was our aha moment. And I said, well, we have been tracking brands on social media for 6 years. And we were asking questions about what is the sentiment of the people that are talking about the brands, what is the opinions about this brand. But we have another fundamental question to answer, which is, who are these people? Who are these consumers? What else they do? So we realized that we and our clients, we were being very self-centered or brand-centered, and we decided to try and to develop a framework, a methodology for consumer-centric. So today, you have companies like Airbnb and Uber, companies that are mobile first, that are leading this process of acquiring data from these social platforms. So when you do a register in Airbnb or Uber, you do a social login. What is a social login? It's just a way, a quicker way for a user to register on an app. And this works really fine when you have a small screen and a mobile phone, and you don't have a lot of time to type a lot of stuff, name and etc. But this brings a whole new opportunity for brands like Uber and Airbnb, because they can extract interest and likes from these people that are registering. And these data can be then repackaged and reinterpreted to find more interesting insights from these people that are registering. So, for example, in Facebook, Facebook introduced target audiences that allows anybody that has a social login on their app or on their landing page to post, to sponsor posts to exactly these people that register. So let's say you are an airline and people register when they were buying a ticket to Barcelona, and then you find out that people that flies to Barcelona, they also tend to fly to Sofia or to Athens. So you get this sponsored post to Sofia or to Athens in front of the same person. So this is a very, very trivial example of what you can do with this data. Another thing that happened actually last week in Lisbon was with Uber. So our country manager there in Portugal, she was using Uber for her visits, and she also liked the Mini car Facebook page. And out of the blue, but not really out of the blue, we know where this is coming from, she got this email offering her the opportunity of testing drive via Uber the new 5-door Mini. So these things are already happening, and these companies are leading the new marketing efforts for that. So this is just a little bit of motivation to talk about something that we frequently overlook in our marketing efforts. And this data presents us the opportunity for very low cost to find out brand affinities to try to sell more or to try to understand when a consumer is going to need something. So this is another example from 2012. This is actually in the AdAge website. It's about a study that they did, and they did with social data from Facebook at that time, with these brands, and they found the strongest brands affinities between PepsiCo and InBev and Unilever and other companies. And on the time of Super Bowl, they got these brand affinities together, and they talked to each other. Advertisers and companies talked to each other, and they started doing cross-selling campaigns during this period in point of sales in America. And what they realized is that when they associated two products that were close in terms of affinity, this would increase the sales in the point of sale, on the point of sales in the stores. So brand affinities is something that you can have, just like the story back there with Volkswagen and Red Bull. You can have it very easily if you have a data scientist or if you have a company that does that for you, using social login data. What about Twitter? Social login is very fine. It's all fine. You can have it in your mobile apps. You can have it in your landing pages, etc. It's all structured. It's all very nice to process. Twitter was and is a very different animal. Why? Because this data there is unstructured. That means I can tweet, I am here in Sofia enjoying a nice cup of tea. So I said Sofia, I said tea. So those are two concepts that I could use to my own profile, right? But this is hard to extract. So what we came up with was a framework and software to try to extract from these timelines, from these tweets that I am tweeting, you are tweeting every day, what is important. And it's really not that rocket science. I'll show you right now. So we, for example, we did a small study for the millennials in Europe. And with this study, I will show you how you can create or you can extract this data and use this data in the previous application that we saw. The first thing that you have to do is to define your audience. For this study, we defined millennials. Why? Because millennials are the most popular group using Twitter in Europe right now, especially in Portugal and Spain, where this study was done. So how do you do that? Oh, you do a generic search. Let's say One Direction. Let's say Pepsi. Let's say stuff that teenagers and millennials like. So you get a lot of data, a lot of data. And then from this data, you extract information from their bio description. In Twitter, you can say, I'm a student. I'm at the university. I'm doing a part-time job to cover my studies, etc. So you look at the bio description. So we look at these two things, and we gathered 5,000 millennials across Europe. Okay? And then we got, for each guy, each person, we got as many tweets as this person has tweeted. That's what we did. So we, not looking at specific mentions of anything, of Nike or of any brand, we are looking at their timelines. And we found out, for example, that people like Irina from Lisbon, she has 200,000 tweets. And she has all these mentions there, and then we built the deep profile of Irina. That's our building block. We build organically and continuously a profile that tries to extract anything that is interesting. How do we do that? We use a very established technique called semantic search. So everybody uses Wikipedia, right? So we also use Wikipedia to cross-reference each tweet and see if there is anything interesting that is recorded in Wikipedia. So let's say Sofia is the capital of Bulgaria. São Paulo is a city in Brazil, etc. So that's what we do. So we get 1 million tweets, or 10 million tweets, or my dream, 1 billion tweets, and get all this information packed, all the relevant information packed in terms of deep profiles. That's what we do. So this is wrong order. So we came up with the 4 P's of insights. So Peto had shown us the 3 P's, and I have the 4 P's of insights, and actually it's registered, 4psofinsights.com. Anybody can check this out there. And we use this conceptual framework to try to classify these deep profiles further. So this is more a methodological framework. So we have the preferences of the millennials, we have the places that they are mentioning, we have the kind of people they are, and we have the play here, which is the element of fun. How are they having fun? So they are listening to music, they are using YouTube, etc. So basically, the platform that we devised is a very, very simple platform. It is just based on social login from the Facebook side, because I don't know if everybody is aware of it, but Facebook has closed everything. So the only possible way of extracting data from Facebook right now is getting social logins. So the rest is going to be all anonymized. And for Twitter, which is a very different company, they are actively selling public data from the consumers. So we got all these 2 sets, and of course we can add here Instagram or any other open platform, open social platform. We calculate the 4 P's. We calculate affinities if you want, and we visualize these data. We transform this data using that semantic thing, and we plug into your systems, be it CRM systems, email market systems, mobile, loyalty marketing, e-commerce, even credit analysis. We are now plugging this platform into it. So maybe people that mention a lot of yoga should be granted a loan. We never know. So our vision for our clients is to have this deep profile defined by what we see from the example of Irina for every potential, not every consumer, but every potential consumer or client that your brand might acquire today or in the future. That's our unique selling proposition. So we want the brands to have their own database. We want the brands to have independence from Google, from Facebook, from Twitter. We want give the brands the chance or the power to also have this information and process this information as they want. And I have 1 minute for questions. Thank you very much.